This one is just going to be Tofflemire matrix, what you guys already know. Matrix, Tofflemire, wedges, hemostat, and the ball burnisher to be able to contour the edges. Okay, so we're going to put them together. What end goes in the slit side? Small end goes with the slit side. I know. And my hands have powder all over. We're gonna do the outside one to tighten it in the little box. Okay. The middle one will make it bigger or smaller. Okay. When we put it on a tooth, we can see here on this tooth, it's missing the mesial wall, right? It's gone. We had to take it out when we removed the decay. So we're going to put that form in so that we can fill it, right? So we're going to place it over the tooth. Once it's over it, you're going to use the middle knob to tighten it to where just tight enough so that it stays on the tooth. Okay, it doesn't have to be cranked shut. Okay, once it's tight to where it's not falling off the tooth, then we're going to stop there because we want it loose enough to be able to persuade it to move around so that we can contour it, but tight enough that it's not just going to fall off when you're moving it. So I have it to where it's stable. Then we're going to grab our wedge. We're always going to start with the wedge from the lingual. Sometimes we might have to put one in from the buckle too, but it just makes it a little more challenging since we have the Tofflemire sticking out there. So we're going to place it. What side am I going to place the wedge?
On the mesial side.
On the mesial side where we're trying to restore the wall. There's no reason to put it on the distal.
That's silly.
Because we're not doing anything back there. Okay? So we're going to place it on the mesial, right in that embrasure area so that it closes up that area at the bottom, at the bed of the prep. Then we're going to take, go ahead.
I said the contact.
Yes. Now we're going to make a contact by contouring that band into the other adjacent tooth. So you can just take the ball burnisher and you can just push it. And all you have to make sure is that it's loose enough that when doctor places that filling, they're going to be able to push it forward and have it connect. Okay? So in a couple of weeks when we're in the lab and we're actually placing fillings in here, you guys will be able to see as we place the filling in here, we're going to push it before we cure it or pack more so that it will stay over here to create that contact. Okay? To remove it, what are our steps?
Tofflemire.
Tofflemire first. So I'm going to undo the outer knob. I'm going to put my finger on top of it so it doesn't pull off the matrix band. Because remember, if we're doing amalgam, it's soft, or an IRM. So if we try to pull it all off at one time, it's going to pull the whole filling out and you're going to be starting over. So we're going to take the Tofflemire off first. Now we're going to pull that wedge out so that the band will be loose to allow us to take it off without breaking. And then I like to do the distal one first and then slip that one that we actually filled off. Okay, the next one that we're gonna do is that anterior celluloid strip or mylar strip is what they call it in the book. I've never heard it called a mylar strip in the clinic setting because mylar to me is metal, like a balloon, a mylar balloon.
Yeah, you said that I had that wrong on the homework.
Mylar,
Yeah.
because the book's weird. Okay, so this is a celluloid strip.
That's the homework is always
It's probably right, I haven't corrected
wrong.
it.
It's right.
I know, I'm just saying.
Right. So it's a clear strip. Okay, so we've prepped the anterior tooth. Now we're going to fill it. So all this does is you put it, let's say that we prep the mesial of number 8. We're going to put it in between 8 and 9. Okay, we're going to contour it to number 8. So put it down on the sulcus of number 8. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put our wedge in. You can look.
Clear.
It's clear, it's hard to see. From the lingual. And then we're gonna pack our material in. Usually it's gonna be from the lingual if at all possible because We don't want to have to match a shade from the facial. So we're going to pack it in, and then when you get ready to cure it, doctor can just pull it together and it's going to cure itself. It's going to contour itself. So really the doctor doesn't even have to make it pretty. The cellulose strip will go right up against the tooth and pretty much shape it how it needs to be shaped. And then you're going to take your curing light and it can cure right through it, which is why it's really nice to have the clear cellulose strip. So we're going to cure it. Again, if it's composite, it doesn't really matter if you take the wedge or the band out first, but it's easier to get the band out if the wedge is out. And then the last one I'm going to show you is a sectional. This is the most common for composites, generally is what you're going to use for it now. And what you have is this little kidney bean shaped guy. Some doctors will actually call it the kidney bean. And it's going to act just as a little sectional matrix. So you're going to put it in just like you would with the matrix band. You just don't have a Tofflemire attached to it. Okay, and then sometimes they will have built-in wedges on the rings, or sometimes the rings won't have a built-in wedge. If it doesn't, you're gonna put the wedge in on the outside of the kidney bean, just like we would have with the matrix band. If it does have it built in, it's kind of nifty. All you have to do is grab the ring, place the ring on, and it does everything for you. Isn't that cool? And then you just go back in, contour. Yep. And put it right how you want it. And fill your filling. So then this one, at the end, you would just take the ring off. Wedge already comes out. And then you will pop off your sectional.
That's more common.
For composites, definitely, yeah. And then for kids, I was saying the T-band. So this is a T-band. When it comes, it looks like this, in the shape of a literal T. Okay, and then what you do is you bend the little wings, put the band through it, maybe. I'm trying to make it too small and then I can't see. And then you can make it as big as you want just by pushing it along the thing. So it's just a little band. You can fit it on the primary tooth. Usually they don't even use wedges. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't, because it doesn't have to be contoured as cleanly because the tooth's gonna fall out eventually. But then it would just go around a primary tooth and you'd fill it up. Okay? Questions? You can write them down.